I will be talking about bonds with options now. Okay, there are two kinds of bond with options. One is a callable bond, alright, and the other is a puttable bond. Okay, for callable bond is a bond that can be redeemed by the issuer before its maturity date. What it means is, say the maturity date of a bond is 5 years from now, where the issuer will pay you $1,000. But if you hold a callable bond anytime from now to 5 years, let's say in 2 years' time, before 5 years, the issuer can actually pay back the principal. That is to say, redeem the bond earlier than the maturity date. So in that sense, for callable bond, it represents a disadvantage to the bondholder. Now, what about a puttable bond? Alright. Okay, a puttable bond is a bond that the bondholder can actually sell it back to the issuer, in which it means the bondholder can actually get his principal before the maturity date. In that case, it's an advantage to the bondholder. So for callable bonds, alright, in this case, the advantages of callable bond, okay, to issuers are that they can actually repay the debt earlier than maturity when interest rates fall. Okay, which is when interest rates fall, the bond issuer will quickly pay off the debt so that it can reborrow, or we call it refinance, which is once it has paid up the debt. So let's say it has issued previously 5% interest. Okay, now the interest rate suddenly just decreases to 2%. So the bond issuer would, in order to take opportunity of the lower percentage, it would just repay back the issuers and reissue new bond issues at 2%. So in this case, callable bonds provide an advantage to issuers. So that being said, that brings about a disadvantage to the bondholders. Alright, that means the investors, because when the interest rates fall, alright, and our bonds get redeemed, we have to reinvest the bond proceeds, which is, let's say we get back $1,000. We can no longer get a 5% yield on the $1,000, but we have to reinvest this bond at perhaps 2% at a lower percentage. So it's a disadvantage to bondholders. Okay. Now for puttable bonds, okay, obviously it provides an advantage to the holders, okay, to the bond holders, because it allows you to sell the bond prior to the maturity, okay, in case there's a rise in interest rates, okay, and let's say your bond is just giving a yield of 5%. In case interest rates rise to 10%, you can quickly sell the bond back, redeem the bond, and reinvest in bonds that have the yield of 10%. And obviously this is a disadvantage to issuers, okay, who would have to issue another bond at higher coupon rate if the put option is exercised.